Welcome to The Reasoning. I say every time I spend £1,000, I feel bad. Thinking about the times that I never had. Like, anytime I call it, and we've spoken about it before, my friend Carla here. We've spoken about it. I call it like post-traumatic poorness, where it's just like, I was broke for so long that when you get money, you can't even spend it, like, because you know the value of it. When I was driving a bus and I was earning £500 a week, I know the value of £500. So when it's like buying certain things, I can't even part with the money. The things that we sort of like idolize and the materialistic things that maybe I think some people maybe glorify, and we talk about a lot in our raps, and people are talking about watches and balling, and that influences us to maybe spend money in places that we shouldn't be spending money, and where we could, you know, maybe invest that would set them up better later down the line.
Well, where do you think those things do come in? Because it's like, they're nice things at the same time. So when do you tell someone, now you can buy a nice watch, or now's the time you can buy the jewellery?
I wanted to sort of chime in on this topic, which is like basically about conspicuous consumption, right? It's about ways to show that you've got money. And I think that is seductive when you come from a background where, like, you've watched your parents struggle to make ends meet. I buy myself nice things, but to come back to your question about, like, when's the right time, it sounds extremely boring to be like, well, after you've set up, like, your private pension and got your investments, bought yourself somewhere that's, like, comfortable and affordable. But I remember when I started to earn, because when my book reached #1 in the charts... Thank you. It was the most money I'd ever seen in my life, and I was actually terrified. And the reason I was terrified is because I was like, right, I've got to find a way now to make this be a cushion for the rest of my life. Well, at first I didn't touch it. And I didn't even put it in, like, a high-interest savings account. And then, like, when I was doing my taxes, the accountants called me into the offices and they were like, what are you doing with this? Like, you can't just have this money sitting there, you know? And I was frightened to buy anything that, like, showed that I had money. I didn't know what to do with it. I had no reference point in my immediate community about, like, what you do when you start to earn.
Yeah, you can flex a little bit more when you got your stuff in order.
Then it feels nicer.
Yeah, but I also understand what Posty said is sometimes a lot of people spending money on clothes and jewelry for the video so that you can see it, just so they can get on there. You know what I mean? I get that, but for anyone watching and, like, younger people, like, the best advice, and we've always spoke about this, is like, when you start making money, the minute it comes in, just have another account that you take that tax portion away that isn't due for later on or whatever, and just put that in there on a card that you can't, you know what I mean? You ain't got a card for that account, it's just over there. So when them tax bills come, it's there, and whatever you got left, like, do your thing with it.
Yeah, for sure. Super awkward moment, actually. I actually linked Bashy to listen to his album, and one of the lyrics is in theme with the conversation we're having now, is about spending an X amount of money on a jacket. Do you know that line?
Yeah.
I was wearing one of those jackets in the car. And I was thinking, am I a dickhead? I am, but yeah, I think financial literacy is, like, so important, and some of the things they don't tell us in school is that money in itself is a business. Like, having money is a business. Knowing how to spend money and putting money aside is a business. Like, the format Kano just told everyone actually is such simple information, but if you don't know that information, you're always kind of back taxing as opposed to, like, forward thinking. And it's actually interesting what that perspective is about, because there was a time where, like, I would have been happy to sell GRM for a chain and a car. Like, that was the epitome of success to me. And unfortunately for us as well, I think like in our culture, sometimes you have to have people's eyes before you can have their ears. You have to like command someone's attention before they might be willing to listen to you.
Yeah. But someone will pay attention though. Like the room that I'm in with the young people that went to my school, I've got their ear. And I think also you should judge someone from where they started to where they got to, not just like from what they have, right? So, but them seeing that, and then when I left and they saw the car that I was driving, that inspired them. Because if you don't have it, like, bruv, they're just gonna tell you like, shut up, man, you can't tell me anything. But from a position of success, they could think, oh, actually, maybe he is talking sense. So when I told them like, yo, like, you lot are 16, like focus on your dreams and your passions and you can get there. That's what I done. I think that like they could believe in it. I say it on a song on the album called Midnight Imbalance. And I'm talking about just not having the financial literacy. And that's why the album name is Being Poor is Expensive. Because when you grow up poor and you grow up in these environments, everything is expensive. To get the best healthcare, it's expensive. To get a better mortgage rate, if you got less money, it's more expensive. We're constantly paying the cost for just growing up in a poor environment. And look, some of us have worked our way out of it. Hearing everyone speak, we don't want to leave people behind and not help. The album is called that name because ultimately being poor is expensive, and the biggest cost, the most expensive cost is your life.